So this is the Toddlers service for St Mary's Church, Jersey, the Channel Islands, and it's the service for Thursday the 29th of April 2021. It's service for preschoolers. So there'll be action songs to join in and some prayers and a story. We're going to start with a song called If I Go A-Climbing. There's actions. We start off with climbing, then there's some other actions to join in. So it's If I Go A-Climbing.
Let's go climbing up a huge mountain.
If I go climbing, climbing, climbing. If I go climbing, God is there. If I go climbing on the highest mountain, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
Now let's get into our boats and go for a ride.
If I go rowing, rowing, rowing. If I go rowing, God is there. If I go rowing on the widest river, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
Let's go swimming right to the bottom of the ocean.
If I go swimming, swimming, swimming. If I go swimming, God is there. If I go swimming to the bottom of the ocean, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
Can you get into your car? Put on your seatbelt, ready to go for a drive.
Seatbelt, steering.
If I go driving, driving, driving. If I go driving, God is there. If I go driving far away, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
Now we're going flying on an aeroplane.
Fly an aeroplane.
If I go flying, flying, flying. If I go flying, God is there. If I go flying on the biggest airplane, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
Can you curl up on the floor?
Go to
Go
sleep.
to sleep.
If I go sleeping, sleeping, sleeping. If I go sleeping, God is there. If I go sleeping on the darkest night, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
Now I'm going to sing the rhyme about two little eyes. You can join in with this one. Two little eyes to look to God. Two little ears to hear His word. Two little feet to walk in His ways. Two little lips to sing His praise. Two little hands to do His will. And one little heart to love Him still. Now there's a song to sing along to. Jesus is my best friend. And the actions we start off with are like this. Jesus is my best friend, my best friend, my best friend. Jesus is my best friend. He's always there for me. Jesus is my best friend, my best friend, my best friend. Jesus is my best friend. going to get up now because we're going to sing the Dinosaur Song. There's lots and lots of stomping and roaring like dinosaurs. So can you stomp with your feet? And roar, roar, roar like dinosaurs. Roar, roar, roar. Roar, 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 roar. Roar, roar. Roar, 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 roar.
Many, many years ago, walking on the earth were supermassive animals with teeth and claws and fur. And some could swim and fly and crawl, but way more radical is that God who made them is alive, greater than them all. God is bigger than a dinosaur, taller than a dinosaur, stronger than a dinosaur.
Roar, roar, roar.
God is older than a dinosaur, mighty than a dinosaur, more awesome than a dinosaur.
Roar, roar, roar. Roar, roar. Stomp, stomp. Roar, roar.
So was Tyrannosaurus Rex, king above the rest? And how did Stegosaurus bark? Or did Brodicus lay eggs? Only God could know it all, but way more radical is that he could bring them back to life. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't it? God is bigger than a dinosaur, taller than a dinosaur, stronger than a dinosaur.
Roar, roar, roar.
God is older than a dinosaur, mighty than a dinosaur, more awesome than a dinosaur.
Roar, roar, roar.
But God's so fossil, he's not extinct. He's with us here and now, and forever he'll be alive. Let's sing his praises now.
Roar, roar, roar.
God is bigger than a dinosaur, taller than a dinosaur, stronger than a dinosaur.
Roar, roar, roar.
God is older than a dinosaur, mighty than a dinosaur, more awesome than a dinosaur.
Roar, roar, roar. Roar, roar, roar. Stomp, stomp. Roar, roar. Roar, roar. Stomp, stomp. Roar, roar, roar. The dinosaurs go off into the distance. Now I'm going to sing the song about Mr. Noah, who built an ark, because God told him to build an ark and take 2 of all the sorts of animals into the ark to keep them safe before the rain came down. Mr. Noah built an ark, the people thought it such a lark. Mr. Noah pleaded so, but into the ark they would not go. Down came the rain in torrents, splish splash. Down came the rain in torrents, splish splash. Down came the rain in torrents, and all the 8 were saved. The animals went in 2 by 2, the big giraffe and the kangaroo. All were safely stowed away until that great and terrible day, when down came the rain in torrents, splish splash. Down came the rain in torrents, splish splash. Down came the rain in torrents, and all the 8 were saved. So whenever you see a rainbow, whenever you see a rainbow, whenever you see a rainbow, remember God is love. Now I'm going to get up again because we've got the wiggle song. And we wiggle wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then when the music tells us, we freeze very still until it's wiggle, 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 wiggle again. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, 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 freeze.
Wiggle, freeze.
Wiggle, 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 freeze.
I said I gotta get those wiggles out of me. I'm gonna shake my hands, I'm gonna shake my feet, I'm gonna shake my head, I'm gonna move to the beat, 'cause I gotta get those wiggles out of me. I said I gotta get those wiggles out of me.
Wiggle, 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 freeze. Wiggle, 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 freeze.
I said I gotta get those wiggles out of me. Skiddly scat, skiddly dee. I gotta get those wiggles out of me, 'cause I wanna hear the story. It's gonna be fun to hear about Jesus is for everyone. So I gotta get those wiggles out of me. Wiggle, 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 freeze.
Wiggle, 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 freeze.
I said I gotta get those wiggles out of me. I said I gotta get those wiggles out of me. I said I gotta get those wiggles out of me.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Take it down and breathe.
And I'm going to read some prayers out of this book. And the first one is talking about how special we are. I look in the mirror and what do I see? Someone who looks exactly like me. I go out exploring, but I haven't met anyone even like me yet. To you, God, we're all special, as special can be. I know that you love me. Thank you that you have made me. We say, Amen. Because God made each one of us special, didn't he? And each one of us is different. Then there's another prayer. Thank you, dear God, for the many kind people who help us along our way, who smile when we're happy, who care when we're tearful, who keep us safe all through the day. Thank you, God, for the many kind people in our lives. And we say, Amen. And now before the story, I always say a little rhyme because it reminds us that the stories are all from the Bible, God's book. Now is the time to listen. Now is the time to see. We'll open God's book to hear what He has to tell me. And this is a story about something that Jesus did. Something in Jesus' lifetime, something Jesus did that was very kind. Now Jesus was going through an area called Capernaum. And in that area was a man who was a Roman soldier. He was a very, very important Roman soldier. He was a centurion. A centurion didn't just look after a few men, he looked after 100 men. 100 men were under his authority, He was in charge of 100 men. That's 10 and 20 and 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 and 70 and 80 and 90, 100. All those men were under him. He was a very important man. He was a centurion. Now this important man had a servant, and his servant was very sick. There's the servant in bed. And the centurion was very worried. He liked his servant very much. He was very fond of his servant, and his servant was very ill. He tried all sorts of things. He made sure his servant ate some really healthy food, but still the servant didn't get any better. He went and got some medicine for the servant and gave the servant some medicine, but still the servant didn't get any better. In fact, he got worse. The servant got very, very sick. And then the centurion thought, I know, I've heard about that man called Jesus. And he thought, Jesus is Jewish and I am a Roman centurion. So he went to some of his friends who are Jewish and he said, please, will you go to Jesus and ask him to heal my servant? So that's just what happened. The friends of the centurion went to see Jesus. And they asked Jesus, would he make the centurion's servant better? So Jesus set off along that way. But before Jesus got to the centurion's house, a friend came out. This is the friend. She came out and she said to Jesus, my friend the centurion says you don't have to come to his house. My friend the centurion says he's not worthy. He's not good enough to have you at his house. He thinks you're so special, but he knows if you just say the word, the servant will be better. Well, Jesus was very impressed and he said to everybody around, this man, this centurion, has great faith. And do you know, at that moment, the servant got better. So by the time that lady got back to the centurion's house, the servant had got better, was sitting up, and was better, and the centurion was so pleased. He was so pleased that his servant had got better, and that was because Jesus had made the servant better. And that's the end of today's story. Now I'm going to sing the song about the wise man built his house upon the rock. The wise man built his house upon a rock. The wise man built his house upon a rock. The wise man built his house upon a rock, and the rain came tumbling down. And the rain came down, and the floods came up. The rain came down and the floods came up. The rain came down and the floods came up, and the house on the rock stood firm. The foolish man built his house upon the sand. The foolish man built his house upon the sand. The foolish man built his house upon the sand. And the rain came tumbling down. And the rain came down and the floods came up. The rain came down was a story Jesus told, because he said, you must build your house on a firm place. Build your house upon me, and then it won't come tumbling down. And he meant your life won't fall apart if you lean on me and believe in me. And I'm going to sing the last song, and we can dance along to that. If you've got something to make a lot of noise with, you could get that out. I've got something to rattle with. It's called What Noise Shall We Make? So you can dance around the room and rattle and bang.
What noise shall we make to say that God is here? What noise shall we make unto the Lord? Let's make a loud noise to say that God is here. Let's make a loud noise unto the Lord. Here is my loud noise. Here is my loud noise. Here is my loud noise unto the Lord. What noise shall we make to say that God is here? What noise shall we make unto the Lord? Let's make a quiet noise to say that God is here. Let's make a quiet noise unto the Lord. Here is my quiet noise. Here is my quiet noise. Here is my quiet noise unto the Lord. What noise shall we make to say that God is here? What noise shall we make unto the Lord? Let's make a fast noise to say that God is here. Let's make a fast noise unto the Lord. Here is my fast noise. Here is my fast noise. Here is my fast noise unto the Lord. What noise shall we make to say that God is here? What noise shall we make unto the Lord? Let's make a sound noise to say that God is here. Let's make a sound noise unto the Lord. Here is my slow noise. Here is my slow noise. Here is my slow noise unto the Lord.
Dance music, rattle and bang. That's the end of this week's service. There'll be another service next week from St Mary's Church, another Toddlers service next week. Bye bye.